just because it's hooked up there, don't forget to put in your little bracket up here. Then there's some screws that fit up underneath. You fit up into a little slide pocket, and then you can get it up into that top piece. It's got threads in it, like that. And that's going to keep that top secure. Got an Allen wrench to tighten those up. Now, I already put the one on the bottom down here, and I haven't tightened it up yet. Now in that slot, I can slide this, see, that far. So wherever you put it up here, you can still do some other adjustments before you tighten it up. Now, with this being over here like that, now see, I don't want it way over like that. I probably want it over off to the right, because remember, the middle of the TV is over here. I can have it about right there, and then I'll tighten it up, because I know no matter what, I've got 20 some odd inches from here that way and 20 from here over. Okay? In fact, I think I want to slide it over to the left a little bit. That way, when I slide the piece on the back side of the TV over, you know, I still want it to cover this edge. So I'm going to do some final measurements on the back side of the TV just to double check myself before I tighten that down. I've got it just about set, but before I put the TV up there, before I hook that TV on here, let's think about this project here for a second. I got this all nicely tight and everything. I want you to do some more thought process, okay, before we put it up here. I've got it all situated. I'm going to slide this over, and you remember we've got to put a plug up here, and we've got to put an outlet for our cable to go down the wall and then to come out down below for the cable TV. Now, if I put those in there, now see, here's the stud right here. So I can't get this any closer than about there. You follow? So that's going to come out of the wall like that. Now I could put the other one right there, and I got enough room to do that. Okay? That would be perfect. But you got to think about how tight you want this up against the wall, because if this is over like this, you got the TV right here. If you have it away from the wall like that, that's fine, because now there's enough room for the plug for the TV to get in there and all that. But see, if you want to push this perfectly tight up against the wall like that, this is almost touching the wall. There's a little cavity right there that the plug could fit there, and there might still be enough room to get the other box here for the cable TV, because you just got one wire going into there, you know what I mean? So if we do this just right, maybe it'll be okay, because then the top plug will be right in there, and that's where the wire could be, you know? But what I like to do with big TVs, I like to have them out away from the wall a little bit, something like that. That way when the TV's here, it's not too close up against the wall. I don't like it for the TVs to get too tight up against the wall, because the back of the TV, if the back of the TV gets heated up, the wall's going to get, you know, you're not going to let enough room there, and it could damage the back of your TV. Now, most TVs nowadays, you probably don't really have that problem, and I might just be smoking and being silly about that, okay? But here's another thought too. I could slide this over just a little bit more so I've got a little bit more room over here. But no matter what I do, there's still not going to be enough room for 2 plugs on the back side of this knuckle. You know, because here's the stud, right? So here's another thing to think about. Here's where the TV is going to fit. And where that notch is, I look at the notch over on the back side of the actual TV bracket. So if I measure from there down, look at the back of the TV, and that's 15 inches. So 15 inches from here down to the bottom of the TV, okay? About there. So if we know that, could it be possible to put these 2 plugs down here? Here's the bottom, and I probably could, right like that. No problem. You see what I mean? So they don't necessarily have, they don't necessarily have to fit in this little cavity. But if you can fit it in there, go ahead and cut it in there. Now we can't use this cavity over here because this is where that stud is. The open bay is between this bolt and that bolt. So this is all open, so I can fish down and do whatever. But I got to get from this location down to the plug because the plug is in that bay straight down. Okay? So I'm going to have to think what I want to do here. I mean, it would probably be okay to put the plugs there because somebody's probably not going to be sitting right here looking up at the TV or something like that. You probably never will see these plugs as long as I keep the plug and the TV cable up high towards this edge. You know, that way the bottom's down there. And remember what we want the bottom? What was it? 49 inches or so. There's the bottom. And I was saying about 15 or so. You know, I don't have it hooked up yet. All right, so I mean, it's going to fit right in there. That's about where the bottom is. 49. Right there. So if I have this plug up there, the bottom of the TV is going to cover it. I just want to make sure that if I have it down here, I don't want the cord to droop down because I don't want to see the cord below the bottom of the TV. So if I have it here, then I'll have to swing it up and somehow attach it up to the bracket, and that's fine. More than likely, that's all going to happen anyways. And there's little cavities in here. This top piece comes off, this bottom piece comes off, and the wire can come out of there and zip up in there across and over whatever. Or it can be strapped on the back. So there's several ways to do it. Okay? Here's another possibility you can do with these boxes. You don't necessarily have to have your boxes going up and down like that. That's how most people put whatever box they have in the wall. But look at this area here. You could put a box sideways like that, and then this will still go over the top edge. Okay, because this is going to be cut and fished down into the wall, right? Now, you could have the plug up there, and you could, this one here, you could put sideways too if you wanted, to get the bottom of it up higher instead of like that. You know what I mean? So if you're in a tight fitting area, you can do whatever you want. That's the beauty of these boxes. You just want to make sure you don't hit a stud. Ideally though, I'd like to get my boxes up here if I can. Okay? And I'm not going to cut anything yet. The next thing we need to do is put this TV on. Because you remember there's some brackets on the back side of the TV that go across and everything. And if they hit this edge, that might prevent this from going all the way back up against this wall anyways. Maybe it'll only go this far, and I'll have enough room to get my plug in there after all, you know? So I can put the TV up, and then I can swivel the TV out of the way, you know, and work on it over here. That's fine. That's what I think I'm going to do. I'm just going to test it out. And worst case scenario, if I think the TV's in my way or something, you know, I can do that and kind of get it out over there. Or if I think it's going to hit my head if I'm working up and down, maybe I'll just take the TV back off. So I think that's going to be the next step. It was a little struggle, but I got it up there. I had some help to do it. It's so awkward to try to lift this up by yourself because it's so heavy and cumbersome, and you got to fit it up there just right. Remember this piece here? It had to snap into place, and I was having a hard time with that. I slid it up in there, and we finally jostled it down, and there was a definite snap to it. And I know it's in the right place. Then I put a little set screw up here. It's all in your directions. Put a set screw in there. And these two Allen wrench screws will allow you to slide this TV one way or another to get it perfectly level, you know? And see, it's off a little bit right now, and I'm only here by myself. I'm going to lift it up a little bit and tighten this up. And I'll have to keep doing that back and forth. And then I'll come out here at the front, kind of swivel this back into place, take a look at it, you know, level it, and do all my adjusting from there. Okay? Now there's two other screws here. You can loosen those up, and that will let you tilt your TV. There's a bracket right here that has a curve in it, and you can loosen this up and kind of lift up on the TV a little bit and kind of push on that like that, and it'll tilt it, you know, if you want it tilted, or if you just want it flat, you can have it flat. So they decided to have it flat, so that's what I'm doing. Got it flat. Now I can push this into place and see where we're up against. Here's one more thing that will help you to install this, either by yourself or with somebody else. Run the bracket out straight like this. That way when you push it onto this head, it's not going to accordion back. If you have this accordioned over, it's always going to want to push up against the wall. You're not going to be able to see what you're doing. So I just ran this straight out, you know. That way I could get back in here and kind of hold it up, look at that, and know that I can pull on it back this way, and it's not going to accordion back into the wall. Okay, so there's a good little tip for you. Wow, that looks nice. I leveled it all up, and now the moment of truth. To measure from the ground up to the bottom. What did we want? Do you remember? 49 inches. How close did I get?